Hello, and welcome to Getting Vulnerable and Going Strong. I'm Leslie Hill, the Women's Entrepreneurial Opportunity Center Program Director, and I'm here today with Emma Taylor-Metcalf, the owner of Lyn-Maree's Boutique here in Auburn, Indiana. I'm going to speak with Emma today about just running a retail store, what it's like to own multiple businesses at one time, and just the crazy life of being a business owner. So thank you so much for joining us
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Good. So give us an example of what your store sells and why you decided kind of just to take on retail.
So I have kind of anything a woman kind of needs. So I have anything from accessories, clothing, the little, pieces that you need for undergarments. That are really necessary, slips, the kind of the things that you might not find in a bigger box store, but women still need them. Yeah.
Yes.
But I actually started working for Lyn in high school when I was around 16, somewhere in there. I got my job there and then went away to college and came back and worked for her during the summers. And then after that, and when I graduated, I thought, well, this is what I really want to do, because I could get a job somewhere else. But then you're doing one aspect of a job, and you're very focused. And I really like doing lots of different things. I get kind of bored with one item, and then so with owning your own store, you get to do everything. You're not just stuck to only advertising or only the community aspect. You get to do all of that. So that's really where I got started.
I love that you said that, because I think when people start a business, the majority of my clients, they'll say, I do this one thing really well, so I'm gonna now have people pay me for that one thing, and then they get into it, and it's like, oh no, now I have to be IT, I have to be advertising,
Yes,
be a buyer.
I'm the janitor. I fix things. I know how to use power tools. I have to lift heavy things. That's the one thing people don't realize is, if I'm there at the store by myself and I need something done, I have to do it. I can't wait for somebody else to come around and help me.
Right.
So I think it's been, a really good learning experience, because I've been able to figure out how to do a lot of things just by myself and figure it out. And yeah.
How long have you had the business then?
Since I was 21. So I'm 29 now.
Okay, great. So you've passed the hurdle.
Yes.
Yes. You feel good.
Yes.
Everything's kind of
the first
smooth.
couple of years were hard. A lot of work, a lot of time. But yeah, it's finally to the point where it's smoothing out a little bit, and I get a little bit more relaxed time. Well, I did. But now I don't.
Yes, tell us about that a little bit. What do you mean by that?
So I'm also starting Auburn Brewing Company with my husband currently. So we're opening in about a month, for the end of this month, beginning of next month. So.
Okay. At what point in time did you decide, hey, this is so fun, I think I'll do it with my husband and start another business?
So actually it was a retirement plan. We thought, well, when he's done working and when the store's, good and easy, and we'll just start a brewery. And then
it's like every man's dream.
Yes, yeah. And I was like, well, we can just start one in the back of my store. Got about 400 square feet. It's not big, but we can start small, totally manageable, whatever. We'll start that in a couple of years, not now. We're really having fun in life.
Yes.
We're at a really good place. And then, so we thought, well, we'll do that. So we kind of slowly talked about things, slowly did stuff, got a name, did that kind of thing. And then we thought, well, if we're ever going to grow, where are we going to grow to? Well, there's two buildings in Auburn we want. One is owned by the city, so we can't purchase that one. And then the other building was what we're going into. So I called them and I said, hey, would you guys mind meeting with me? I know it's not for sale. We're not asking anytime soon. We're thinking like distant future. Would you guys think about selling it? Please call us, which is where we're now going to be located. And, discussed nothing soon. Definitely like future plans. We're not ready for it now. Call us when you're ready to sell. We know it's not now. And so he's like, okay. He called us 2 weeks later and was like, I'd really set up an appointment with you guys. I'd really like to sell the building to you guys now. So we were kind of like, okay, well, this is where the universe is throwing us. So we're like, okay, well, we'll start the process. And he's like, it's okay if it's kind of a slow roll and all that. So it took us.
You're like how long was slow roll? Like 30 years?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. So it took us a while to kind of get things started, and the process. It's just a very time-consuming process with the banks and getting our our financials done and set and ready to go for that, business plan. So we went from 400 square feet to, I don't know, probably quadruple that size. So it's a much larger investment. The plan is much different. Definitely not as the plan we start out with. So we're like, well, that's just how it's going to be. So we'll just go for it, because why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're never really prepared for these things.
Yeah.
It's like having a baby, only a lot more detail.
Yeah.
Like no one says, hey, let's see if you should get pregnant or father
Yes.
or mother a child. This is like, let me look at your entire life history and understand if you should own this.
Yes, and that's what I get people ask me all the time. When are you going to have a baby? And I say,
Oh.
I'm having a brewery. There is
Yes.
no time. I think they
No.
want you to be home for a little bit with a baby.
Yeah.
Like, have that time. So, yeah, we're doing something a little bit different than people our age, but that's okay.
Yeah, and it is, the fact that all of your thought process, I think people don't understand just how much of you is consumed or of your mind is consumed when you are running a business, let alone starting a business.
Yep.
And so when that's all you can think about and it's all you can talk about, they don't realize that I have to in order to make this
I don't think,
grow. And
what am I going to do for, dinner? That's
yeah,
not at the top of my list.
no. Mine either, which is a good thing because I can't cook, so it all works out.
That's awesome.
Okay, so you found your location, you've worked with the bank, and what have you done within those steps too? Did you look at furnishings first? Did you have to wait till you had the loan approved? What was the process around
We
that?
knew that somehow we were getting the building, and somehow we would do it. We just didn't know how long it would take. So we did some things, like we found a good deal on like some booth seating. So we purchased that. So we bought like little things along the way that we knew, like, well, whether we use it now or we use it in 5 years, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we bought lots of things on the way. And then, but now that it's crunch time, I feel like all I spend every night from 11 to 3 a.m. just ordering stuff and figuring out what we're missing, what we need, what we don't have. Yeah.
Your free time, 11 to 3 in the morning, you're having fun researching, shopping,
Yes.
but then you have to get right back up and go into your current store and work.
Yep.
How have you juggled that?
It's not been too bad. I try to, it all gets done. So that's the important part.
That is true. Yes.
As long as it all gets done.
You're still alive to talk about it.
Yes. Get a little bit of sleep, get some food. It's all you need.
How many hours do you think you get of sleep right now?
On average, like a night, maybe 4 to 5, give or take. On good nights.
So you're totally a new mom.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, how
Except
funny.
for nobody's crying.
Yeah, well, or a puppy.
Luckily, nobody's crying.
I think of having a puppy or the kitten,
Yes.
and you have to take them out all the time. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So God bless you for being in that stage right now, because you're going to make it through.
Exactly. It gets, like, at least, so I know from my own business, like, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it does get easier. You do get into a groove. So I'm ready for, like, a year from now when I'm in a groove.
Yes.
Like, back to normal.
Do you feel like when you first bought the business that it was a year before you felt that way, or was it 3 years where you felt like I can start to kind of make it my own now? Or
Probably 2 years. It was probably like 1 year of keeping it the same, but still making it my own, putting my own twists and turns on it. And I did a lot of advertising in that first year because I knew it was necessary to grow. So a lot of the money went right back into the business. So I was, pinching and scraping and pulling to find money to be able to advertise and do the things that were necessary to make my business grow.
Well, I think the most brilliant thing that you did with advertising was put that billboard up on 69.
Yeah.
Because every time I drove by it, I didn't see any other billboards for little stores. I was like, oh, I'm going to go to that boutique. That sounds cute.
Yeah, that was probably one of my best advertising. I still get people that come in, and it's been 8 months since it's been up, and they're like, I see your billboard all the time. I'm like, well, good. It's been down for 8 months, but I'm glad you saw it.
Yes. Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so that's definitely one of the best things I've ever done.
What are the best comments you've received from maybe family, friends, or even just the community?
Everybody's been so supportive, like beyond supportive. We couldn't have done it with our community without the community support. For Auburn Brewing Company, we did pre-sale on our mug club, but we had one that was like a founding member, which is our premium membership, and so it was quite expensive. But we had so many people who were like, we want to invest in your business. I'm like, that's great, but that is so difficult when it comes to like tax time, and the amount that you want to invest is just not great enough to have to do those taxes.
Right, yeah. You're like, thanks, but no thanks. Yeah.
So it's great, and then, it's just really nice to be able to make all the decisions between my husband and I and not have to worry about a third party or somebody else, or making sure we have enough income coming in to pay somebody else. Like, we were very worried about that. We didn't want to have that stress on us. Like, it's already stressful enough. Like, worrying about paying other people we didn't want to have to do that. So we came up with a different route, which was the memberships, and we had filled 50 memberships that were $500 each within like 2 months.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, that helped us get off the ground, and we ended up having to do a lot of environmental studies on our property because it was an old gas station. So that helped pay for that, because it was unexpected costs that were a surprise.
Yeah. And I love that was an opportunity. A lot of times when we're working with clients, we try to explain to them to test your theories beforehand, and there's only so much you can test. And it will help get you through so much, but at the same time, there will just be things that pop up.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
It's never just one.
And so thinking about money, I think that's a lot of what holds new business owners back. They either may fold because they just keep thinking it's never going to come, it's not going to come, and so then it doesn't come.
Yeah.
And they debilitate themselves.
Yeah.
Or it's to that point where I can't even start. I have this great idea, but I can't even start because thinking of $500,000 it's not even, it's like Monopoly money at that point. I can't even imagine doing that. And
I think a lot of people, they have these grand ideas, which are great, and sometimes that can be, something you have 10 years down the road. You don't have to start with that grand plan. You can start small and work your way up and do it that way. So, there are definitely things that we don't have yet or that aren't done yet, because it's better to grow into them, I think. I don't want to open and have $10 million in investments and not be able to pay those back. I'd rather make sure that money is coming in before we invest back into the business again. So, and it's worked really well with Lyn-Maree, so I don't see why it wouldn't work again.
That's right. Exactly. And I think that's smart. I think even as a culture right now, I know if you look at our grandparents or our parents, they didn't just go out and get this brand new perfect house. They set their life up as needed, and they would, sometimes they would wait until the kids were completely gone to renovate.
Yeah.
And so it's important to do that in business. We don't have to have everything brand spanking new right off of the bat.
Nope, and not the best either. You can get whatever you can afford now and then upgrade when you can do that. Then you don't have to have such that investment up front. You grow into your business instead of the other way around.
And then it brings the community in with you too, because
they see
as you grow.
Yep. That was something that Josh and I loved when we go to breweries. We would go there when they open. We'd go there a couple months later, and then a couple months later, and they change so quickly, Yeah. And, you can tell a difference in their beer and how it tastes because they got a new system, or they got a new glycol chiller, or, it's the little things that they've added, and you're like, oh, this is so great. I love watching you grow and change, and
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, they feel like they're a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where that investor, can I invest? Well, yes, you can just keep coming.
Yes, please just keep coming.
That's what we need.
Yep. Absolutely.
What are your personal versus your life goals over the next 6 months to 5 years, do you think?
I would say they pretty much blend together. Probably because I don't have kids, or because, I don't know,
Yeah.
they're kind of all one thing.
Well, just like we were talking about. You can only think of so many things up here.
Yeah. So basically, the first thing is to get the business up and running, get a little bit of sleep,
Yes.
kind of get that flow, get a little bit of sleep. But I think getting the best employees will be able to really keep that going. So within the first year, I'd really like to have just awesome employees. And
how many do you think?
Probably 6 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping. And then, yeah.
Good for
So
you.
I'm hoping it will not run itself, obviously. We want to be there. That's the whole point
Right.
of having a business, is we want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to make sure everybody's getting the best service. And same thing for Lyn-Maree's is sometimes I have a meeting in the middle of the day, so I have to have somebody at the store that's not me, because I'm not just going to shut down.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's important that we're open. So I have to make sure I have reliable, really good employees who can be there and who can help people and show them different things and speak to them politely and know how to check them out. So
I like to call them the intrapreneurs.
yes.
So they may not be business owners, but they take on that,
Yep.
just the pride that goes along
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
the business.
In a small business, you have to employ people that are proud to work for you, who want to be there, who want to help a customer.
Yes.
It's the best part.
It's always, you can always tell the people who don't want to.
Yes,
So it's always nice.
Yeah.
And how do you think you are going to go about achieving these things? Do you have like a method? Or do you have vision boards everywhere? Do you have a strategic plan set out?
I would like to say that I have a strategic plan and a vision board, but I do not have any of those things.
Good, because most people don't.
I make a lot of lists on lists on lists, and calendars. Rely on calendars and lists, and that's how I get everything done. Or almost get everything done.
So maybe we could say one of your goals in the next 6 months is to get a big whiteboard and you just write it on there, and then it's there.
My usual 6-month goal is to be organized, and that's every
Just
6
keep doing
months.
it.
Oh no, this year I'm going to be organized, or every January, this is when I get organized. This is the year I'm organized. Yeah, and I'm organized for a month. And then it's back to a hot mess.
Well,
That's reality. I'm okay with that.
That's right, and no one else knows.
Yeah,
It's
I have to have
fantastic.
realistic goals. I'm okay with that.
Good.
I have lots of out there goals, but you have to keep some things realistic.
It's so true. Yes.
Yeah, spending an hour color coding a calendar is just not what I have time to do. So
Yeah.
I would love a beautiful calendar that was nice and beautiful, but
Yeah.
no, that's no time for that. I have scribbled down notes everywhere.
That's
Is
right.
what I have on random sheets of paper that
Yes.
pile up.
I gave a quick tip one day about putting all those Post-it notes on one.
That's why I pile up them. I have a clipboard with all my notes on them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good job. What is one piece of advice that you would give to new startups, to someone who has an idea, someone who just wants to own a business but they don't know what it could be? What would you say?
I would say the best advice to give them is to really think about the end goal. What is your end goal? Because if what you want to do does not meet your end goal, then don't do it. For me and my husband, our end goal is not to be really, really rich and have our beer on every Gay's liquor store and to have 16 Lyn-Marees. That's not our end goal. Our end goal is to make enough money to live and enough money that we can travel a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know what your end goal is. I think that's the most important, and make sure that all matches up. Because if you want to be a millionaire, starting your own small business may not be for you.
It It takes a while and it's really hard.
Yes. Yeah, and I think some people think, oh, it's just like magic. You're magically busy. You open up a boutique and then people come
Just
in.
come.
People just come.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And you make all this money. And unfortunately, that's not realistic at all. And people don't think of all the bills that you have if you have a storefront, if you have a brick and mortar business. It's more than just that and selling some things. It's a lot more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There goes back to that strategy concept. So have the end in mind before you start and doing this with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
It was so fun. Thank you. And thank you so much for watching.